guys can hear me okay? Yeah? You all have a mic? We're good?
Yep.
Okay, sweet.
Hello.
All right. Well, good morning, everyone. It's day 2 of the WOW Summit. Thanks for tuning in to this panel on how Web3 is shaping or reshaping media and the arts industries. We have some great speakers today. Gillian, Ray, and Jess, thank you for coming on today and talking to me. I wanted to learn a little bit more about you guys. So first off, if we could just do brief intros, 30 seconds, 1 minute intro about yourselves and why you're here today. We can start with, yeah, Gillian.
Hi, I'm Gillian. I am the founder of Digital Art Fair. We have been running in Hong Kong for 3 years. We specialize in NFTs and also digital art that you typical, besides the typical NFT on OpenSeas. We also work with traditional artists to launch NFTs and work with auction houses the last couple of years to kind of educate the traditional art collectors about NFT and the other way, otherwise, vice versa.
Okay, Ray?
Yeah. GM, I'm Ray, co-founder and CEO of NiGet and also Memeland. Right? 15 years ago, my co-founders and I started a useless company called NiGet to share memes. And then 2 years ago, we started another useless company in Web3 called Memeland, also to share memes, right? But this time, we share memes in NFT and also like a fungible token, right? We have 3 NFT collections. Right now, we are number 1 NFT ecosystem from Asia. And then our tokens is also from Binance Launch Pool, and then worth 2 billion, right? I don't know how, but somehow we worth that much money on paper. Right? And the goal for us is how can we actually make Web3 suck less, right? That's the main goal for us, yep.
All right, Jess?
I have to say, shout out to NiGet. I'm a huge fan. GM everyone, I'm Jess. I'm the CMO and founding team of Hooked Protocol. We're here to educate and empower the next billion of people on board onto the Web3 and empower them with a toolkit that they need to navigate this world of dark forest that it is right now. And my little bit background is I've been in tech companies in Silicon Valley and bring them back to Asia. And my background is in getting people on board with new technology. And then I've been in Web3 world for 2 years now officially, and it has been a very exciting ride. And yeah, happy to share the stage with everyone.
All right, thank you guys. Ray, you say it's a useless company, but it's so successful.
I mean, people love useless shit, right? I think that's why people buy meme coins, yeah.
Yeah. Well, what do you think, what can you attribute maybe to the success of memes? Like what makes like a perfect meme? And what's the secret sauce in your opinion?
Meme is basically shared culture, right? It's almost like all the GIF, all the rage comics in the past and all this like motivational poster that people love, right? Basically, it's like a visualized format of something that I understand and I resonate. I think meme coin or memes in general, right? Basically, we kind of like put a value to it so people can trade the value, right? I would say financially as well. Right? I think that's what I see meme. Right? And at the end of the day, everything is meme. US dollar is a meme, right? If we don't agree that US dollar has value, right? No one actually cares about US dollars, right? Hong Kong dollar as well, right? So I think this is why meme is embraced in Web3 a lot, because a lot of people, they think about value in a different way, yeah.
All right. And Jess, Gillian, I wanted to ask you, if you had to choose, would you choose physical art or digital art?
I can't choose, I'm sorry. But I can tell you one thing.
Okay.
I've been working in the art industry for 15 years and I started Digital Art Fair for free. The first time I make any money with my own collection, not selling other people's collection. I make a lot of money for other people, but for my own collection, the first time was I selling an NFT.
Okay.
I never make any money selling contemporary art myself.
Can you tell us about that first collection?
It
Why
was
was it so successful?
it was the Renfric Anador work that I sold. I was gifted by Renfric Anador 3 years ago, and I sold it 2 months ago. Finally, I was just like, I found some NFT, I'm gonna sell it, and then it was, basically free money.
Free money. Is that what NFTs are nowadays?
No, but could be. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, but answering your questions, right? I think that in Hong Kong, digital art is better.
Okay.
Because we all have a very small home, right? So you can't hang all the physical paintings on your wall, right? Unless you are I don't know, some rich guys in Hong Kong, right? But most people, for digital art, you only need a ledger, right? If you want to be safe, then you can collect like 1,000 pieces of quote-unquote artwork, right? So I think that's why that's why the newer generations, right? They love digital art because somehow they're more flexible, they're more like portable. Yeah.
All right, so if you guys had to choose NFTs or memes, which would it be?
I wouldn't choose both. I think both suck.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, NFT is down bad, right? And memes, basically, it comes and go. So I would choose, I don't know, I would choose love. I would choose God.
Okay, I
would
like
choose
that.
faith. Yeah. I think, but not all this kind of stuff. Yeah.
All right, Jess, talk to me about how you're integrating blockchain technology and NFTs into your educational platform.
Yeah, that's actually related to your question of like this bit versus atom kind of dichotomy, right? Like what does a digital art mean to our community? And then to us, there are two sets of values that an NFT or digital art could bring. Like one is intrinsic, right? You see the beauty of it, like we just talked about. Like you derive something from looking at the Rothko at MoMA for the first time, and it's like very personal. And the other is community-based. Like I own a piece of ape. I belong to this community. That there's cool people that I hang out with and I call friends that I want to show off to the world. Is more external. So for us, we're capturing these two very different values in our NFT system because we're doing Web3 education, and then a two side of education too. One is I've learned something is something that the high that you can only get from like speaking a language from none to being fluent, and the other is the friends you make along the way, like going kite surfing, and then you meet all these people on the beach on a daily basis. That's the community you build. So now we have a soulbound token that document your online education journey, where you are at, what kind of topics are you interested in, and that kind of give you the encouragement and rewards along your journey that's like only you could showcase. And the other piece is the NFT rewards or art-based pieces that you can generate throughout the way based on the topics that you're interested in, and that is tradable in the secondary market, and you can get your share of interest on it. But along the way, you can also compare and share with your communities that, hey, this is what I'm learning, let's compete, let us share our journey together. So we're capturing the two sides of the NFT and meme culture on this the education mission that we're on.
And so SBT, soulbound tokens, are a hot topic. Some people love them, some people hate them because you can't transfer them, right? It's soulbound, as they say, but it makes sense in the educational sphere if it's like a diploma or certificate that's yours. No one else can take that away from you. But what about if we're comparing them to memes or to Bored Ape NFTs? Like, are SBTs the next best thing? Is it the best way to prove authenticity and ownership, whereas the other ones are just more speculation? Like, what do we think is more valuable nowadays? Or what makes the most sense for us? Whoever wants to take it.
I think I can start on
Go
that.
for it.
Like, there's two sets of value, right? On chain, you are there to perform many different actions. Like, what you need in the real world, you probably have a digital equivalent on chain for the reason that you won't use your passport or your identity your identity cards or your Harvard diploma in some of the like exhibitional or shareable cases. You use it for identification, use it to generate trust at a very low cost. And that's what we see as a SBT could do in a permissionless, trustless community that's Web3, right? Like, I can really fastly prove that I've done all this to exchange, so that I'm not a bot, I'm not here to rock the project. So that's one use case of it. But at the same time, the meme you generated, I will defer to the artist here. There's another form of cultural movement that's brewing that's quite interesting, but I guess on a separate, they serve very different functions, but equally important.
Yeah, what do you guys think about SBTs?
I spend a lot of time with our community, right? So I hang out a lot with the degens. So I want to share more from the degens perspective. Right? Number one, degen is very desperate. I mean, not desperate. I mean, very resourceful in a way that they can actually sell their soul, right? They can sell the soulbound token, right? A lot of people, they will create wallet, get the soulbound token, and sell the wallet to other people, right? So soulbound token is actually not, I mean, it's soulbound to the wallet. It's not soulbound to the person.
Right, of course.
I think that's number one. Number two is, I feel like for soulbound token, it actually creates a new use case, which is extremely interesting for brands. Because a lot of the brands, for example, like luxurious brand and stuff like that, they want to get into Web3, but they don't want to have a price for the things that they sell. Because, let's say I sell a Chanel handbag, right, for like 50,000 Hong Kong dollars. But if your NFT, it's like only trading at like $500, right, then you don't feel good. But soulbound tokens, somehow there's no public market for it. That's why they are more open to work with soulbound token, right? Because they feel that it's safe, because even if you sell, there's no public market for it, right? So I think on that aspect, I think it's good because that gets more existing company, right, to join Web3. But generally, I feel like it's an interesting use case where still a lot of things we can explore. But right now, I would say that I don't think it's that much different from most of the other NFT or fungible tokens out there. Because when you look at like WorldCoin, people will still sell the identity, right? And I think all this kind of stuff is almost like founder or the team think about one thing, but degens, they actually figure out another way to sell your shit. Basically, if you can put a price on your mom, on your wife, on your son, they will also sell it.
No.
That's how I feel when I talk to our community. Yeah.
Okay, Gillian, what do you
I
think?
completely agree with Ray. That he just pointed out the main points. Yes.
I know. We sell our soul too easily, unfortunately, for money.
Yeah, I mean, in all these like stories, right? People sell their soul to the devil, right? I think right now in NFT, never underestimate the resourcefulness of a degen. Yeah.
All right, so then Ray, how do you think we can maybe get over this idea of like hype and focus more on loyalty and utility and maybe bring some more morality into this industry?
It depends on where you who you are, right? When you think about this question, right? I mean, I've been working on social media for 15 years, right? So there are only two things that are really, really valuable in online. Number one is attention. Number two is trust, right? The funny thing is, if you have more attention, you actually get more trust. Right? If you get more trust, you will also get more attention. Right? I think hype is a work where people describe like short-term attention boost, right? But the thing is, for a team, no matter how good your tech is, if you don't get any attention, basically you are fucked. Right? So I would say that hype is necessary. But how can we turn the hype into a more long-term like conviction? I think that's the gap that all these projects have to pass, right? Be it a meme coin, be it like a utility token, right? If you don't get the initial hype, no one cares, right? So I would say that marketing is at least like 69% of launching a Web3 product, right? And then the other part may be tech, maybe community, maybe the application. But at the end of the day, hype is something that we all need. Although most of the tech founders, they kind of like undervalue it. Oh, we are doing real product, right? But your real product doesn't have any users, right? So you still need marketing, you still need education, you still need like communication to get people to pay attention to you. Yeah, so I would say that hype is important, right? But a better word would be attention. Yeah, and how can we continue to get short-term attention and also long-term attention so that we can convert them into conviction? Yeah.
Okay, no, that's a really good point. And I think in addition to the hype, we also need some more fun, whether it's more fun games, more fun memes, more fun communities, especially when it comes to entertainment, right? Because that's what we're talking about, media and entertainment and art. So if fun is such a vital part of entertainment, how can we better leverage Web3 tools to maybe like infuse more fun into our work and what we do every day? And is Web3 even necessary to do so? What do we think? Jess, maybe in education, you can talk about that specifically.
Yeah, that's a great question because that's kind of the debate we have internally on a daily basis because there's no shortage of content, like Ray says. It's like, especially with artificial intelligence in play, the content production have been commoditized. It's just like a computing power churning out content on a daily basis. And how do you make it useful for users, and where does Web3 comes into the play? And to us right now, because we're focusing on this, bringing more people interested in this vertical, our fundamental hypothesis is still a really small part of the world who knows about the technology and what Web3 can do, and what crypto means into tomorrow. it's a very privileged thing that we're sitting here and discussing like what is meme, what is like this culture movement behind it, what is decentralization. 90% of the world doesn't really know or care, or even people who buy a Bitcoin, like we just said, like don't even know what it is, haven't read the white paper, they just know it might come up tomorrow. So it's a really long journey to go to really bring people's interest onto this stage that is Web3 right now. So we're trying to define a way to generate attention in a very natural sense, because learning in itself is a very dry thing.
Right.
Like, I don't know how many of you guys pay for Duolingo and then like haven't used it, despite
Me.
that bird coming
I've
out
done
at every other week and say, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. So we're trying to make it fun, but also in a way that's give you incentives to go on to. That's where all of this rewards and NFT, community building, trading aspect of it, earning, and you kind of know what staking is by actually doing it. That's important that you get a taste of what it is without, having to jump through the hoops of the Web3 that could be very scary, of losing your crypto wallet or things being hacked. So we're trying to bridge that water first, bring more people over, and then they can decide what they can do with this new knowledge. But how do you generate attention enough and sustain it, as you said, is the hurdle we have to go through. So that's where AI comes in, right? We can track where your attention goes naturally, and then we can generate more content or link you to more projects that serve your interest, and so you can get more rewards along the way to keep you going on a journey.
Okay, so Web3 as a way to incentivize and reward users.
So
Okay.
AI as a content generation, and Web3, especially our token economics, as a way to generate rewards and disseminate some of the values that we generate back to the community to keep them going on the
Okay,
journey.
love that. And then what about you, Gillian? How can you better leverage Web3 for your work and the art industry?
I just focus on the word fun when you asked that
Fun,
question.
yeah.
My brain just went,
How
oh,
can we
yay,
make it more fun?
When I started Digital Art Fair in 2021, the only thing, it was not a business idea. It was just, this is fun, NFT is fun, there's people who are a little bit crazy on the internet, and I want to throw a party. That's pretty much what it was. And I did. I threw a party for like 20,000 people came to, at that time, 2021 in Central. So it was a massive party for 17 days. And I was just talking backstage with you guys. I used to have amazing crypto parties in Hong Kong. 2021, we were fancy. Everybody was bull market. Now, that fun part still exists in me because I love art and music and creative entertainment, everything. Like me, it's fun. And what do you do? You're not fun, but you might as well go work for a school. I don't know, do something else. So I think a big part of crypto and NFTs and tech, when NFT happens, is that people want to bring something fun in the community, and then you end up there are business and tokens and everything involved. So as an answer to you, I think Web3 is important because now is the fun stuff outside. Because I work in contemporary art for 15 years. I never had this much fun than last 15 years. I had a lot of fun working in this industry, and
Okay. Ray, what about you? How can we inject more fun into things?
In Chris Dixon's book, right, he defined that Web 1 is read only, right? Web 2 is like read and write, and then Web 3 is like read, write, and own, right? I believe that, to me, Web3 or blockchain is like a new medium where people can create, right? And when there's like a new medium arrives, that means like two different things to two different groups of people. Number one is to new creators, right? When there's a new medium, for example, like TikTok, there will be a new breed of creators joining. And then because they're very native to the medium, that's why they can do all the fun things. They can leverage attack. They can do all the initial adoption and stuff like that. That's why they can gather a lot of masses in the beginning, right? That's why all the new joiners, right? They actually love new medium. For example, when you look at the crypto space right now, no one knew who Vitalik is, right? Before Ethereum, right? And then no one knows what all these Web3 projects are because all these founders, they're like 20-year-old guy living in their mom's basement, right? Before they launch a token, right? So I would say that for Web3, that part is great, right, for new creators. and including like for entertainment, right? Including for like movies or art and stuff like that. For example, a lot of the digital artists, right? They were nobody before Web3, right? They never saw any artwork before, but right now, they saw a NFT for like more than like 100 ETH, right? Then they become somebody, and they may even have like digital art. They can sell the digital art as well, right? So this is one thing. Last time I was talking to Bippo, right? I mean, he has been creating for like 10 years, right? I mean, he's an okay artist before Web3, but right now he's like a biggest artist in Web3, right? So I think that part is great for new creators. Meanwhile, for all these like existing entertainment brand creators, that also a threat, but also an opportunity, right? Because they own a lot of IPs that people love, right? Imagine if Dragon Ball has an NFT, which they know how to manage the community, right? I mean, that would be really, really valuable. Right? Imagine all these like movie stars and how can we, I would say, tokenize them and all these like existing content. That can also be very interesting. So I would say that it's no good or bad, but it's more like an opportunity, but also like risk. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And it's going to take more time. We're experimenting, so we'll see what works and what doesn't. Now, let's localize things a little bit since we are in Hong Kong. I wanted to get your guys' take on maybe like Hong Kong's role within the greater industry, what you would like to see more of, less of. And do you think Asia as a whole might even drive the next bull run? Like what do you guys want to see more of specifically when it comes to Asian creators or just the Web3 industry here in Hong Kong?
Actually, I spoke to the cultural department of Hong Kong recently, and because we want to launch our fair like in a bigger scale, so we focus and they know that we work in NFT, they know that we're crypto related. So last 2 years a little bit sensitive. They are like censoring, not really, but regulation-wise, very like gray. You know, I don't know if I can do that. Can I say that I'm taking crypto? Do I have to put it under the carpet, say, you want to trade crypto, like you have the desk? You don't want that. You don't want to be like brave and say, yes, we take crypto. So this year there was no ambiguity. It was very clear that yes, we support you. You can do that. In Hong Kong, so far, yes. But the only thing is sponsors or what companies come into, they were still a little bit careful on. I think like after what happened last 2 years, they were a little bit more careful on that.
Yeah, okay. What about you guys? What would you like to see more of, and what's the role in Hong Kong within the greater industry?
Yeah, sure. I was born and raised in Hong Kong, right? So I'm bullish on Hong Kong by default, right? And we started our company in Hong Kong. And when we look at the space right now, it's actually a very interesting time, right? Number one, it's very rare for the government, right, to actually do something when it's still in the trend. Right? Most of the time, they started to do something, and it's already outdated, right? Yeah. So if we have to put most governments as a meme, they're like the slow poke, right? They're like 2 steps slower, right, than most of the other organizations, right? I think that's why it's very interesting for Hong Kong to embrace Web3 while it's still in the early stage. I think that's number one. Number two is let's zoom out from the macro perspective. When you look at, crypto or Web3 is just part of the economy. And when you look at the economy, where does the growth come from? Right? It's all in Asia, right? So by default, crypto is also really, really growing fast in Asia as well, right? So if I were a founder, when I'm a founder, right, I would pick the place where actually there's the most liquidity, there's the most growth, right? So Asia by default is a good region to be in. Right? That's why I see a lot of friends, they actually move to Taiwan, Hong Kong, Singapore, maybe Dubai, right? Just to start the crypto company there. Especially the rules, the regulations are more friendly, right, to the crypto companies as well. And then in the region, you can see that there are only a few, I would say, financial hub, right? Because crypto by default is like very intertwined with finance, right? And then you see Singapore, Dubai, Hong Kong. Taiwan is pretty good, right? But more on the tech side, not on the financial side. But Dubai, somehow people still feel like, okay, I don't know the language, right? I never lived in like a Middle East before, right? So to them, Dubai is still a great place, but kind of like high risk, high return kind of place.
I live there though.
Yeah, you know it better, right? But I would say that is a faster growing like region or country or city, right, in the area. And then for Singapore is great, right? But it's fucking boring. Right? So a lot of friends, they move out to Singapore, they move back to Hong Kong, right, after COVID. Right? And Singapore, we have all the infrastructure, the blessing, the backing of China. Right? And right now, the government literally say that, okay, you can do Web3 in Hong Kong, right? I mean, I've been living in Hong Kong for a long time. If the Chinese government doesn't support it, there's no way that Hong Kong government is pushing it, right? So I'm actually very bullish about this because anything that Chinese loves, it becomes huge, right? Look at LV, look at AMS, right? The biggest buyer is basically Chinese, right? So crypto is very bullish just because of that. And I think for Hong Kong, of course, we enjoy a lot of the benefit because we are part of China. Yeah.
Okay, all right, I love it. And what about you, Jess? We have a few minutes left.
My gosh, it's hard to add on to this great uncensored version of reality. But yeah, I echo with you. I also grew up in this region, and I was actually just watching a Stephen Chow movie. It was like bringing back the nostalgic. Like, it's such a hot hub for culture, and back in the DNAs, like it was so much like amazing IPs that's generated from this soil by these people, like grassroots up, and we also have this whole financial infrastructure, which is also important, as you said, and then now we have a clear regulatory framework. So Hong Kong, and also is linking the West and the East, right? Is like the bridge into the mind and heart of the mainland culture, which I believe is also driving this bull market already. Like Asia is driving this bull market in a huge way in terms of money, in terms of talents being poured in into the ecosystem. So Hong Kong have all the right ingredients. Right now, I'm quite curious to see how they come together to synthesize the bigger force behind it. Right now, it's like kind of in silo, NFT doing its own thing, DeFi doing its own thing, AI have its own narrative, but how do you combine all three and then become this Hong Kong identity and Hong Kong force? I think it's brewing, especially leading by meme land, and it's such a cultural phenomenon that's having a worldwide audience that's generating from here that's quite unique and only Hong Kong can do. So yeah, I'm also very bullish.
Right. Amazing. Well, we are running out of time, so real quick, Gillian, I wanted to ask you, since it's Art Week in Dubai, do you have any tips for our audience here of maybe what they should do, where they should go, they should see?
You mean Art Week in Hong Kong?
Yeah.
Yeah, Art Week Dubai was last month.
Oh, but
End of February.
There's Art Basel.
Okay, Art Dubai
Yeah.
Digital launched 2 years ago in Dubai. Amazing. I know the curator there. Great. Hong Kong Art Month this week is crazy. We got 100 parties out there. I'm seriously 100 parties out there. So if you want to go party, come ask me. I'll give you some tips. But it's great thing to see. Art Basel is happening. Art Center is happening. A lot of, unfortunately, there were not a lot of NFTs at the moment. They were not. They're not specialized in it. You got to understand they come from a very traditional background, almost 100 years of contemporary art history that they don't want to change because some tech guy here said the NFT worth something. So they have their own mindset. But Digital Art Fair next year will be at the same time. So if you want to talk about your NFT, show it there. Please come talk to me. Yes.
All right, sounds good. Do we have any questions from the audience? No? Oh, yes, sir. Can we give him a mic?
Okay, so please wait. Do we have an extra mic for our audience? Okay.
Yeah, just show it. Yeah.
I have two questions for Ray, actually. A serious question and a meme question. On a serious note, in building 9gag and meme land, is there one thing you ever regretted that you wanted to turn back time and revisit?
I regretted building 9gag and meme land, right? So that because I want to have more sleep, right? I think one thing that really bad for Web3 founders is the loss of sleep, right? And because crypto doesn't rest, and I think of course Degen doesn't rest, right? And that's why my biggest regret is actually starting our own companies. Yeah, I could live a comfortable life as a normal employee. Yeah.
And then the meme question is, since we're talking about media, if you could be a celebrity for a day, who would you be and why?
Celebrity for a
in
day.
the media space. Actors, actresses.
I think I don't know. I think being Elon Musk for a day would be quite fun, right? You can tweet about all the random shit, and then people will launch a token for you. I think that would be a fun experience. Yeah, yeah. But I think don't ask me these kind of random questions. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, sounds good. I think that's all the time we have. So if there are no more questions, thank you guys so much for today's panel. Gillian,
much.
Jess, and Ray. Everyone, let's give a hand of applause to our speakers.